Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you, wherever you may be. My name is Sam, and this is By Hook or By Needles. And today we are going to attempt something that is called, and I'm going to have a look at my piece of paper to make sure I don't get it wrong, because I have before, the crossed half double crochet. Now, the crossed half double crochet can be a little confusing for some, because they feel like they're doing a decrease, but you're not. You are, but you're not. You don't actually lose any stitches, so if you are losing stitches, you're doing it wrong. And in particular, you've got to be very, very aware of what's happening here so you do not lose stitch count. Okay. Again, for those who have been following me for a little while, you may have seen this crossed half double crochet stitch in Battle of the Stitches. So I have done a tutorial for this before, and I've made an error in that tutorial and then undid it and redid it and everything else. But let's have a look at how we create this with the graph. So once again, we start off with our chains. This is I've got to check that. Aha, I forgot to check. I've got a feeling this is a multiple of 2 plus 1. No, I beg to differ. It's any number of stitches, any stitch count as well. Well, that's really handy. So any stitch count. So we can do any stitch count we like, and the 2 at the end will be used as to give us height for a half double crochet. Now remember, in the UK, a half double crochet is known as a half treble, and thus this would be called the crossed half treble. Right, so we start off with our chain. We do our 2 chain here for our height, and then we go straight into doing 2 half double crochets together. Yes, it sounds like a decrease, but technically it is a decrease, but we're not actually decreasing, because if you look here, what's actually happening is we're doing our first half double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook, and then we're doing our second half double crochet into the next chain, and then we're completing that stitch. Then rather than go straight to the next chain, we're actually going to do the first stitch of the next half double crochet crossed into the stitch we've just used. See how they're all doubling up? So we put one leg in there, just in, and then we've got one leg in there, one leg in there. So there's actually 2 legs, with the exception of the beginning and the end. There's 2 legs per stitch going into a chain. And this is how you do the stitch without actually decreasing. Now, important to note that the last stitch is always a half double crochet just by itself. And you will see that on the 2nd row it goes into the top chain of that 2 chain, and in here it just goes into the last chain by itself. So when you're doing this, however many chain you've done, when you get to the last chain, you just do a single half double crochet, sorry. Right, the other thing to note is when you start, okay, your first leg must go into that single half double crochet. So you're coming back into that stitch, and then into the next half double crochet. So if we look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 chain. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stitches. And we're going to have 10 stitches each row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to do my usual 15 chains, seeing as I can do any number with an extra 2. So I'll be doing 17. I will pause, switch the camera around to a different position, and I will already do my chain before I come back, just to save a little bit of time, because you don't need to see me doing a chain every time. Okay, I'll be back in a little while.
Hi, my name is Strawny. Did you leave a comment so we can have a little chat? That would be very nice. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
So here we are. I've done my 17 chain already. Once again, I am using Bendigo Woolen Mills 100% wool, because I do think it gives better stitch definition and certainly helps show you, I hope, better the stitches. So we are going to go work our first half double crochet into the third chain from the hook. So it's 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to work a part of the half double crochet into this stitch, and that's the way we do it. We just pull the loop through, we yarn over again, and we go into the next stitch. And we pull up a loop. Now we've got 5 loops on our it doesn't say there, that's not very good. Sorry, I was just looking at something else. 2, 4, 5 loops, yarn over and pull through all. Now, this is the last stitch or chain we went into. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to go into that. We've already worked into it, but we're going to go into it again. We pull up a loop, then we can move on to the next stitch or chain. And we're going to go into the stitch, pull up a loop, 5 loops, yarn over and pull through all 5. Once again, we need to make sure we go back into the stitch that we just finished in. We do not go straight to the next stitch. Yarn over into that stitch, pull up a loop, into the yarn over into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through all 5. Yarn over. Once again, we're going to go into the stitch we've already worked to pull up a loop. We're going to yarn over and we're going to go into the next stitch to pull up a loop. 5 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over into that stitch, pull up a loop, into the next, oh, I do hope I can get this in before my visitor. Yarn over and pull through all 5. Oh yes, my bit. No, it's okay. I will. I just realised I've got my times wrong. Okay, yarn over into the stitch we've already worked into. Yarn over and into the next stitch, or back bump or chain or whatever you want to do. Yarn over into that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over into the next one and pull up a loop. 5 loops, pull through all 5, sorry. You can see it already sort of forming. And I've got to tell you, honestly, using the wool for the stitch tutorials, I'm finding that the stitches look better for you. The definition is really there, and in a way they're almost easier to work too. And you know, you can really sort of see the stitches individually there, which is just what you want to see. So I'm glad I made the switch. Pull up a loop, yarn over, go into the next loop, next chain, sorry, 5 loops, pull through all 5. Yarn over, back into this one, yarn over into the next one. And of course, as I've always said, at any point, if you feel you've got it and you want to fast forward, oh, I've got itchy nose. If you want to speed ahead to the end and to see how the end finishes, that's fine. But you will need to see how the end finishes because it is different to the rest. Yarn over into the previous stitch, yarn over into the next stitch, and pull through all 5. Yarn over into the stitch, yarn over into the next stitch. Just realised my cat's laser light, automatic laser light, is still on, and I doubt they're chasing it. I can't hear them. Okay, into this previous stitch, yarn up, loop over into the next stitch, pull up and pull through both. Oh, pull through all 5. Okay, we're getting to the last 2. So we're going to do one more crossed half, is it crossed? Yeah, crossed half double crochet. And then, even though we've got 1 stitch left, I'm going to show you what we are not going to do. Right, we are not now going to work into this one and then that one. We are just going to work 1 half double crochet into that one. So that's where this stitch varies at the end. And I'm assuming that that is so that once again we get a nice straight edge and that the stitch isn't slanted inwards to give sort of a slanted edge. Slanted edge. Oh dear, I'm having trouble speaking today. Okay, now let's go back here. I'm going to count our stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 and 15. And that's how many we should have. Don't count the actual, you can count the actual stitches, but I always count the V's. It gives you much more accurate reading. Then we are going to chain 2, 1, 2. I'm going to turn our work now. This is where some people come unstuck. We need to work into the base of this chain as our first leg. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to go into the base of that chain. We're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, 5, pull through all 5, yarn over into that stitch, pull up a loop, sorry, pull up a loop again, pull through all 5, yarn over into the previous stitch we've already worked into, yarn over into the next stitch and pull through all 5, yarn over into that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over into the next stitch, pull up a loop, pull through all 5, yarn over into there, pull up, yarn over, pull through all 5, yarn over into the previous stitch, yarn over into the next stitch and pull through all 5. And we just keep doing that. Once again, if you wish to fast forward to the end, please feel free to do so. But I ask that you do check the end of the row because it will be slightly different yet again. Okay, and you don't want to make an error with this stitch by not knowing how it ends. It's like you wouldn't read a story without reading the last page. And this is the same. And many of these stitches are a bit tricky on the very last few stitches. And this one certainly gave me a few headaches the first time I did it. And I'm kind of hoping it won't give me any headaches today. But you never know. Okay, so I've got 2 stitches left. So go into that one, pull up, pull through. Got 2 stitches left. Pull up a loop. Yep, and then go into, I think I go into that one. Yep. Pull through. Now, you've got your chain at the very end. You did a chain 2 to get some height to start off with. You need to just do 1 single crochet into that top of that chain. And I'm going to count my stitches. Cross your fingers, everybody, because I want to have 15. Okay, so we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, yes, 14 and 15. So once again, you can see how it is very misleading. And I'm actually looking at the graph when I'm doing this, because the graph, in my opinion, is the best way to really see where the legs of the stitches go. Written instructions, they can tell you, put the first stitch in at the base of the chain, but a lot of people may have missed that and gone just straight to this next one, and then they would have decreased. They would have had a stitch count that was out. So that's 2 rows. I'm going to continue once again working on this so that I can show a much fuller swatch in the picture, because I will have a picture of this in a bigger swatch, and the graph of this plus the written instructions in 2 locations. There will be 2 links in the description box. One to my Facebook page where this will be, the picture of this, the picture of the graph and the written instructions, and the other link will go to my YouTube channel's posts section, which used to be called the community posts section is now just posts, and I'll also put the picture, the graph, and the written instructions in there for you. And that's just so you don't have to keep going, finding the video, going to the video, and then going to the description box to read the, find the link. Once you can even just go to the posts on, post tab and just scroll if you like, and have a look at, after a while, and have a look at all the different stitches that will be there. And there will be a lot of stitches there. Similarly, if you wish to find it a little bit quicker, you should be able to just search. There's a little, I was going to call it a microscope, but it's not a microscope, a little magnifying glass picture. And if you click on that, you can actually put in, you could put in crossed half double crochet or crossed HDC, and it will show you all of those things on my YouTube page. And then you can just find the one which says crossed half double crochet, because it will show you half double crochets as well as crossed half double crochets. It'll probably show you the wide half double crochet stitch as well. So, you need to have a look. And I'm not sure, but I think the posts, the community posts, saying lots, how many times can I say post today? I think they will appear too in that search. So, yeah, and that you should be able to find it fairly quickly. I hope this helps. I'm going to, like I say, work on this off camera and offline. And, yeah, until next time, please take care. I do hope you're enjoying this little series. This is going to be an ongoing thing. I think in April I posted the crochet stitches on a Monday. I may be moving that to a Tuesday. But you'll see anyway. You'll see when the posts come up, whether I've moved them to Tuesdays or whether they've stayed on Mondays. I'm not in 100%. I think I will leave them on a Monday, because I usually have Battle of the Stitches on a Wednesday, and then the knitted stitch on the Thursday. So that just sort of spreads out, pads out the week a little bit better. So anyway, take care. Like, subscribe, do all those lovely things for me. If you need to join the Facebook group, please just go to the link, use the link in the description box, and it will take you to the page, and it will say you need to be a member, and just answer the few questions there. That's just for me to know that you're not a spammer and that sort of thing, and then I will let you in, and then you will be able to see all of the posts. It's also a place where you can post all your pictures of what you've created, which I would love to see as well. Okay, bye for now. Take care, everybody, please. See ya.